Hey guys, what is up, and welcome back to another episode of Twistedbuildz. Today we're back on the Toyota and got quite a bit of work to do to it, so let's get started. Okay, so in my last video was pretty crappy. I hope the quality's better. I bought a brand new lens for my camera. This is supposed to be a really good lens. It better be for the price. Anyways, today we are back on the Toyota. Last video I did was kind of redoing the sound system and stuff, which I'm probably going to end up redoing again because I'm kind of not liking some of it. But that'll be later on. For now, it's okay. But today we're going to start on a major, well, not major, but a big upgrade and a big task. We are going to do drop spindles. We're going to do brand new Beltec drop shocks, and I've got a lowering block kit for the back, and all new upper and lower front ball joints. Alright guys, so down here on the floor, I'm gonna go ahead and pop the old hubcap off here. And if I remember correctly, I think these are 22 millimeters. It's been a while, but let's see here. It's at 22, it's 21. I think it's 22. That's actually a little loose. Might be a 21. Yep, 21. Alright, so let's get you guys set up here and we'll start buzzing these things off. And I'm going to be using my air because I didn't realize my battery on my impact gun was dead. So we're going to be using air power. So sorry for the extra noise. Alright, there's one off. The brakes have to come off. Spindle has to come off. We got to take off our what do you call it, tie rod. Sorry, went brain dead. And then all that good stuff. So without further ado, let's do. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and remove the caliper and get the brake caliper bracket out of the way. I do have my air ratchet, but I don't know how tight these are. May have to use a ratchet to break them. We'll find out. Yep, they're tight. Get them started and then we can take them out with the air. So, if you ever go to change brakes on these, this is a 17 millimeter for your caliper. Alright, there's your guide pins. And I got myself a little handy dandy magnetic tray to put all my nuts, bolts, and stuff in. So let's try to walk this off of here. Alright. And I am just going to lay it back here and hang it off the bar so we don't put no stress on the hose and all that good stuff. Don't let it hang down. So actually, she could actually use a set of pads. They're not terrible, but they're not the best either. And they're falling apart. Might have to go run and get me a pair of brake pads. Come out of there. Well, I mean, they got a lot of life left in them, really, but they are kind of falling apart. It's the one thing I didn't buy was a pair of brake pads. A little squealer came off. Yeah, I'll probably run and get a pair of brake pads. They kind of look a little rough on the front. Mainly, my biggest concern is my little bracket and everything's coming off. So, ain't no big deal. We'll run tomorrow and get a pair. I'd get them tonight, but it's pretty late. So now we got to bust our inside bracket loose. Let's see, 17 also. All right. Whew, starting to storm out there. I'd say it is after having almost 100-degree weather today. Alright, and there's our bracket off of there. Next thing we got to do is take the spindle off. Got to get something to get this big ass nut out of here, so let's do that and then unbolt everything in. Oh, would you look at that? This thing is still fresh grease inside that bearing cap. So we gotta wipe this off. Well, why there's so much on the outside, but at least it's greased. So we gotta get this key out of here. Find my screwdriver. Just gonna pry her back. Alright, so now that we got that off, you gotta remove your little shield or lock, whatever you want to call it, for your nut castle lock. So okay, so I'm having SD camera problem. I don't know what card problems. I don't know what the deal is. Let's see. I don't know what size that is. It's way big. Usually they're not that tight because you don't want them super tight. There we go. Just tight enough to hold them in there, but not put a lot of pressure on it. So the deal is with that, you wouldn't want to do that on something newer, because newer vehicles have a pressed in assembly. This one, or non-pressed in. This one has a floating bearing basically. So pop that, and our whole bearing and everything came out, but that's all right. Make sure she's all right here. She looks good. So this is your bearings. This is what they look like. These are needle bearings, or roller bearings. I'll clean it up a little bit, maybe put some new grease in them. It's not in bad shape, really. It does need a little grease, but we'll go ahead and put that back with the hub for now, and our retaining washer as well, and our nut. Now full of grease. Alright, now that that's over and done with, wipe some of this off so I don't get caked in it. But pretty much how you change your bearing out is you would do the step that I just done, except you'd pack new bearings and put them in the hub, or you'd buy a new hub and put new bearings in that hub, whatever, depending on how bad your hub is. And then of course you'd want to grease your hub assembly, which you can see on this one, it's got a little bit of wear on it, which ain't bad, but it does have a little bit. And then you just reassemble. That's how you'd replace the hub bearing on one of these trucks as well. So basically what I'm doing is that. So next, you got to take out the heat shield bolts. You got 2 up here from this side, and then 2 on the back side. And I got to take out the pins. So let me get them pins knocked out of there, and we'll pull them bolts out. Pop these bolts off. Alright, I gotta hold them on the back side. That didn't work. Come on, ratchet, cooperate. There we go. Where you at, Nut? There you are. Alright, so 1 nut and washer, and I took these also had Carter keys on them to hold them. I already took them loose. Well, that was fairly easy. That was fairly easy. Now I gotta go get a wrench. Alright. Got my wrench on there. Buzzer. Oh, gotta change my socket plug. Out of there, come on. Go ahead and pull the dust shield. Lay that to the side. Oh, I forgot on these. These were a 2-piece. Yes, I might have to put them bolts back in to get that off of there. Forgot about that. Dang it, Bobby. I forgot this thing had a 2-piece. It's been such a long time since I've done any of this on anything. I'll put 1 bolt back in it. That should be enough to pop it loose. The new hub, the drop spindle hub, it comes with that part actually attached, so that's why I didn't think about it being separate. That should be good enough for right now. I gotta pull the keyway out of this thing, and then we can pull the nut off of that and pop our tie rod off. Alright, so this one is a 19, and we're gonna back it off. I'm not gonna back it all the way off. We'll do it to about right there, just enough that we don't hit our threads, and then we're gonna, I don't have a pickle fork, so I do it the old school way. Okay, so finally, after beating the absolute piss out of that thing, and I'm not kidding, hang on, where'd I put it? Here it is. Look how damn hard I had to hit that damn thing to get it to let go. That's ridiculous. I was trying to avoid hitting the end of the where the threads are, because you will mess up the threads and you'll mess up that thing. I've tapped it a couple times hoping that it would pop loose, but not enough that it would damage it. But I had to go get the big hammer and literally beat it. So finally got that off of there. Now we can move on to the ball joints. And if I was keeping these ball joints, I'd have to get them out of the knuckle, but we're replacing the whole knuckle with and new ball joints. I don't have to do that, so all we got to do is get the ball joints loose. So I think there's two nuts, three nuts, three. All right, so there's three we got to take off. I hope I don't have to take this dang sway bar linkage out to get to it. Let's find out.
So here's one of your Father's Day gifts.
Oh, check that out, guys. She got me some hot tamale socks for Father's Day. How freaking cool. All right. Thank you very much, honey. Get this bolt out of here. Don't want to remove all that, but may have to. We shall see. We shall see.
I cannot wait for Father's Day because there's some funny things.
I'm gonna go ahead and take off the top bolts so I can lay the thing out. The spindle. I'm brain dead. Sorry, guys.
And let's talk about how I guessed that you have two, because I was looking at the nurse's computer.
Okay, so what she's talking about, this is totally off subject of the truck.
It is.
I had to go this morning and have a CT scan done because I still have kidney stones. She went in with me. I had to be there at 7 this morning. And she got to stand back there and watch the computer screen of them doing the CT scan on me. And when we were leaving, she's like, "Dad, you've got 2 kidney stones in there." I was like, "How do you know? You couldn't tell that." A couple hours later, I got my CT scan results back. I've got 2 kidney stones, almost 5 millimeters. They're stuck side by side in my urethra tube. So I gotta go see a urologist next.
Now, who's right and who's wrong?
Yeah, she was definitely right. All right, Miss Smarty Pants.
Yeah.
Go over there to my toolbox and get me a 12 millimeter wrench.
If you even have it.
It'll be in the very top drawer.
What? You have 2?
Well,
The very top?
very top. The red
one?
cabinet, yes.
Okay. That's it.
Check it or the drawer down, the next drawer down. It'll be the highest drawer or the next drawer down.
How do I tell?
It says numbers on the sides of the wrenches. You know this.
Is it big or small?
So this one says 17 millimeter. You need one that says 12.
Okay.
How have you forgot that? I showed you that when you were a baby. Good job. You go.
Finally.
All right. So now I can switch back to this boy. And
Jesus.
come on now. All right, there's one.
How many are there?
Altogether 8. She's holding her ears.
I'm in pain from the sounds. This is why I should be your...
Well, I tried, and you told me, I'm gonna go lay in my room.
No, I was taking a nap because guess who woke up at 5 o'clock to go to the hospital and get your CT scan with you.
Yeah, I know.
Guess
Alright.
who woke up at 5 o'clock?
Who?
Me!
Nuh-uh.
Technically 4:30.
Oh, okay. Alright, so we got that sucker out of the way. Now we got to get these bolts out of the way.
So where are you
I'll lose
working
everything.
at?
I've got to take these 3 bolts out right here.
Get your big hand out of the way.
Good God Almighty. It's tighter than... I ain't gonna say it.
Say it. This isn't...
God Almighty.
No.
I'm about to pee my pants. It's so tight.
So, if you want to know why the camera is shaking, it's because his...
Well, I don't need you that close in there.
It's because his big back is literally pushing my shoulder, which is and it's shaking my whole arm.
I'm trying to see if I can get my impact gun in here because I can't break them loose. Because I'm a weakling.
Yeah, he's a big back, aren't you?
Be nice.
I am being nice and I'm just telling the truth.
Oh, thanks, honey. Okay.
Stop pushing me.
I'm not trying to. Okay. There's that one. Excuse me.
Sorry.
That one. I wish I could have got that out of there, but it's alright. We can order in.
Dad,
Yeah.
set up the stand. Put the stand up.
Hang on.
I have to take a quick bathroom break.
Alright. Hang on, guys. I am speaking in my real voice.
You're making it deeper.
I'm not making anything deeper. Alright, so finally I had to go get me a pair of vice grips to get this nut broke loose on the top of the shock. Usually they got an Allen head, but I couldn't find one, and I didn't have a small enough wrench. Now, unclip these bad boys.
guys. I'm sorry. Camera lady has to go to bed. She's tired.
Alright guys, so trying to fish the shock out of here. I might have to get the jack to push up the lower control arm to do it. Good night. Alright guys, so the new shocks, the Beltex, they are the 8000 and they are the 215253 is your part number. And I'm glad I'm replacing the shocks. Here's the old shock. I don't think it's supposed to do that. She is wore completely out. Done. It's probably why this truck bounces so bad. So with the new shock, look, nicely this cover comes off, so it makes it easier to snake this up through there like that. And then you gotta put your dust cover back on just like that. Alright, put it up through here. Get her into place on the bottom. And then we gotta put our pieces back on. Alright, so I ain't gonna yeet it all the way down. So I got my bottom two bolts in finally, and gotta tighten my top bolt down now. Now this one comes with a locking jam nut that goes over top of that nut. Keeps it from backing off. One installed shock. Now we got to move on to ball joints and the new knuckle. So I'm also going to flip the ball joints, meaning this is my top one and the bottom one first. Meaning, instead of mounting it under here where it was, it's going to mount on top. And that will give you an extra several inches, at least an inch of lowering on top of your drop spindle. This one came with a grease fitting. Very nice. Usually stuff doesn't come with grease fittings anymore. I'll zip them in there. Well, that's all that one wanted from the air ratchet. And I gotta try to get this ball joint and that together. I'm probably gonna have to go get a pry bar to push that down to get this in. Alright guys, it was a bitch, I ain't gonna lie, but I got it in there. And now I'm tightening the top ball joint down. The bottom ball joint, the nut that came with it is some funky freaking size, and my biggest wrench I got won't fit it, so I might have to use the damn adjustable wrench to tighten it up. I don't know yet. We'll have to see. Alright guys, so got it all back together except for I got to get a key to put in this one because it broke apart when I took it out. But it's tie rod's back on, ball joints are in. I ended up tightening up that bottom ball joint. This was the mixture I had to use to get it tightened up. 22 millimeters for whatever reason is what they used for that nut, but it's got a Carter key in it. The only thing I gotta tighten now is my grease fittings, and we gotta put some grease in it. I'm gonna not go much further because I gotta wait for my brake pads. All right guys, back out here today, and I am on the rear I got both back wheels pulled off, and I've sprayed everything down with PB Blaster because it's pretty rough. Gonna go ahead and try to break these shocks loose first, and then we'll tackle the blocks. God, I can't talk today. But let's go ahead and get on the shocks here. So these are a 14mm in the rear on the shocks. It'll be kind of hard for you guys to see, probably. Try to get you in here a little bit. I did knock out the passenger side front. It's done. Only thing I'm waiting on now is my brake pads. And I'm not going to put the shocks back on until I do the blocks. Alright guys, so I finally got a bunch of this thing apart. I got shocks off on both sides, and I'm in the process of trying to get the U-bolts out. All of the bolts came out except for one, and I've tried everything. I've beat on it, I've heated it, it ain't coming out, so gonna go ahead and cut it off, and we'll go from there. So give me just a minute, I'm gonna get this thing buzzed off of here, and then we'll get back to it. Alright guys, so I got that cut off of there. Now this is where a lot of people mess up at that I've seen on the internet. So here's our 4-inch block, okay, and as you can see, it's got a hole in the bottom that it's supposed to go into. Well, what I see a lot of people doing, and you're not supposed to do this. So this is where your pack, your spring pack comes together, and there's a bolt that holds them together in the center. What I kept seeing people doing is drilling this hole out in the center to make it fit the hole of this. You're not supposed to do that. You take this off, okay? When you take that off, you're going to transfer it to the top. It will fit in the top just like this, okay? So when you do that, this part will go in. So you got the little, where's my shim here? Here it is. So you'll have this part, and that was originally laying across this like this. You take that off, all right? It goes to the bottom side of this. This all goes up top. Or wait, I'm doing it backwards, sorry. It goes this way, up top. Line up your hole, wherever it is. Can't see it. There's your hole. Now you put your block in. So what you do, take your block, get it like this, okay? Then this sits in here, and you'll get, it fits right on that pin. Now we got to drop the axle down and put it on. This extra rubber piece, it goes back underneath, and then you line your U-bolts shocks, your shock mount with the U-bolts, that goes back underneath, and then you put your new U-bolts in. That way you don't have to drill out that center hole and nothing like that. You just got to flip this top. And I've seen a bunch of people online saying that you had to drill that out, and no, you don't. You're not supposed to. It actually weakens the block. So doing it this way is the right way. So I got to drop the axle down a little bit so we can get that pin lined up, and then we can put this side together and go do the other side. All right guys, so got it in there, and this is one of the very few things that I will torque, just because they are known for backing off, and at around 50 to 100 miles, you want to bring it back in and retorque them again. So I'm going to start out at 40 foot-pounds and work up to 80. That's what it calls for, is 80 foot-pounds. I already hit it once at 40, so I'm going to go 40, 60, and then 80. So I'm going to do 60 next. Alright, there's 60, and I'm going to do it in a crisscross pattern, meaning, you know, back and forth at an angle, not straight across. So here's 60 on that one. Alright, I'm going to do the other two, and then we'll hit it at 80. Alright guys, so just to show you, here is 80 foot-pounds on every one of these. Oh, that one loosened up a little. There we go. There's 80. All right, so 80 foot-pounds all the way around. So next, I'm gonna do the other side, and then we'll put the shocks on it. All right, so got the block in on the other side. Everything's tightened up. I did cut my U-bolts off, so they're not hanging way down. That's what you're supposed to do anyways. Got the shock on that side, and then I figured I'd show you how to put it on this side. So you're definitely gonna want a floor jack, and they come with that strap on it. Well, you don't need that strap. I'm just gonna pull that strap off. All right. I see a lot of people install their shocks wrong. You always want to put the covered side to the top because you don't want anything nasty getting down inside your cylinder and rotting it out. So they go on like so. So I'm gonna take just a little bit of PB Blaster and spray the studs, just so they got a little bit of lubricant, help stuff glide on a little easier. And I don't know if you guys will be able to see, but when you go to put it on there, your shock isn't going to reach. I'm about 2 inches short. So what you have to do is jack up each side individually. You don't want to jack it up in the center. If you jack it up in the center, it ain't going to help you. So you got to put a jack underneath your spring pack right here in the center, and jack her up as far as you can get her until it lifts the truck off the ground pretty much. So keep going up. I'm watching my jack stand over here. Once she comes up off the jack stand, I know I'm high enough. Alright, that should be good. I'm going to slide you guys around in here. Maybe you'll be able to see. I know it's kind of hard to see. So, what you want to do is try to get both on at the same time, top and bottom. It'll work out better that way. So I'm probably gonna have to let my jack down just a little so I don't have to struggle so much. Now on the bottom I can there we go. Now we can put our bolts in, get them started, and then I'm going to use the air ratchet because it's easier to get in there with the air ratchet. All right, got the bottom. All right, come out of there. Now, if you want to get real technical and picky and everything and want to torque them, these are 59 foot-pounds is what you're supposed to torque these at. And I was hoping to be able to go ahead and do the front end and get it completely put back together today, because my brake shoes were supposed to come, or my brake pads were supposed to come today, and now they're not coming till tomorrow. So I won't be able to finish this video for another day, of course. So we'll go ahead and hit. I do have this set at 59 foot-pounds. All right, 59 foot-pounds. I don't know if I can get in there to the top one. Ow. Son of a bitch, that hurt my thumb. Okay, that hurt. Okay, now that I've done cussing off camera, that really hurt. I did get that bolt torque, but that hurt like a son of a bitch. I'm not gonna lie. Anyways, I guess that's about it. I'm gonna go through and just clean up the frame rails a little bit here and throw some paint on them, keep everything from rusting up so bad over the years, because it's already starting to get that way. And then hopefully when I get my brake pads, I can we can reassemble the front end and get it all buttoned up, and then get this thing back on wheels and see what it looks like. All right, guys, got my brake parts and all that stuff. I got the passenger front done, so let's go ahead and do the driver front, get it done. So already packed my bearing. If you don't know how to do that, there are several videos out there on how to pack bearings. I'm going to put the rotor back on and the wheel bearing assembly. So slide it on there, slide your key, get your nut. And on these are not like normal vehicles, like the newer style. These are like the older style vehicles. So what you have to do is you have to set your pre-torque, or set your torque. Hang on, I'm trying to think, guys. Set your bearing on to the spindle, and with this one, that is at 65 foot-pounds. So I'm gonna set this to 65. All right, and we are gonna torque it. Well, maybe. All right, that's our setting our bearing. So now we're going to break it back loose, and we're going to set our preload. So basically, where you don't feel any drag, which that feels pretty good right there, maybe snug it up just a little, and you want to kind of work it back and forth to get that grease all in there. Back it off a little here. That feels really good. Tighten it a little more. A little more. Still feeling good. Feeling good. And right there you can start to see it started dragging. So I'm gonna back it off just a tiny bit, and right there is where I'm gonna leave it at. So what you'll do now is you'll put your cap on it and put your Carter key in it so it can't back off. Another thing I noticed when I put the drop spindles on this thing is it has definitely messed up the toe, so we have to adjust the tie rods. I've done it on the passenger side and I turned them in 3 full turns and it looks pretty good. Of course I'm gonna have to take it and have it aligned at a shop, but that's what we're gonna do now. So to do that, all you got to do is break this nut and this nut loose, put your pair of vice grips or big pair of channel locks, whatever you got on there, make you a mark. So I marked mine with a white marker, my lines, so you know how many turns you're going. So you want to go in, so you're gonna have to move your thing and do it a couple times. Okay, so that's 3 turns, but looking at this side, it's gonna have to have a little bit more because it's off more. So I'm gonna go 1 more turn. 4 full turns on this side, and I only did 3 on the other side, but like I said, we definitely have to go get it aligned. So now I'm going to tighten this up and then we'll move on to putting the brakes on it. So I'm going to go ahead and put my Carter key in, get it bent around like it's supposed to be. So all I did was take me a big glob of grease and put it on there. And now we can take a little hammer here and just tap it. Knock it on there. Make sure she's good and tight on there. Just like that. Now I'm gonna wipe off the grease around it. I put a little on my studs since I'm right here. Why not? Usually I put anti-seize on them, but hey, I got some grease. Why not? All right. So now that we got that done, I've already pushed back the caliper. I got this nifty little tool. I think it's made by Maddox. I think is who it's made by. Works on hundreds of different cars, and it comes in very handy. This is the setup here. You just slide this over. It comes with different ends for different size pistons on your calipers. You just tighten this up, and then once you get it tight, you just twist this and it pushes the caliper back for you. Always remember to take your brake fluid cap off so you don't build up too much pressure in the lines and blow the line. Alright guys, sorry about that. My friggin' SD card filled up on me right when I was gonna do the brake thing, but I went ahead and finished that. So brakes are on, calipers on. I greased all the fittings and everything, and we set the tie rod. Don't know if it's quite right, but like I said, we got to get it aligned anyways. So I'm going to go ahead and I drained the oil in this thing. I've already put a filter on it. I'm not going to bore you with me putting oil in it, but I'm going to go ahead and fill it up, and then probably take this thing and put the wheels on it and get it off the jack stands and see what we got. All right guys, so got her on the ground and got her out of the shop. I got a bunch of vehicles in the way, otherwise I'd have moved it in a better spot, but here we go. Yes, much better. That thing looks damn good. Of course I'm gonna put some really nice wheels on it and stuff, but she's getting there. Took the truck for the first drive. It definitely needs an alignment, but check it out.
Yeah. Went and beat the odds, they thought I was insane. They was sleeping on me. Went and beat the odds, they thought I was insane. They was sleeping on me. I was meeting Ben Frank.
I've been tying up my hands, booking flights, setting trend.
I was meeting Ben Frank.
I've been tying up my hands, booking flights, setting trend.
Catch me in a two-seater, Grim Reaper, all cash, no visa. Stacking fast, I thought I had a bill printer, but I cut them out the grass with my weed trimmer. These haters ain't competition, they see me and do renditions. No question, most misled in wrong directions. Eye on the prize, don't try to hide the fake chain. And I watch that tick with no bust down frame. Went and beat the odds, they thought I was insane. They was sleeping on me. Went and beat the odds, they thought I was insane. They was sleeping on me. I was meeting Ben Frank.
I've been tying up my hands, booking flights.
Alright guys, I guess that's it for this video. Make sure to give me a like and subscribe, and keep an eye out for more videos to come on this truck. And I probably got some other stuff lined up too, but still waiting to get these kidney stones out, so we'll see what happens. So catch you on the next one, guys. Peace.